Welcome back to Crafty Hints. I'm Chantel. If you're new here, I'd love for you to introduce yourself in the comments below. And if you're a subscriber, please know how much I truly appreciate you. I would love to hear a little bit more about you in the comments below as well. Or tell me which of these DIYs you liked better. All right. So I participated in the Sticky Tuesday DIY challenge that Kiki from Kiki's DIYs and Janny and Dyanne from Decors are hosting. So the Sticky Tuesday is some type of glue or adhesive, right? So of course I went to my trusty glue gun. And I made two different types of wreaths using basically the same types of flowers. I wanted to show you a couple of ways that you could use these. So let's go get started.
And we'll start off with this wreath. This is a willow wreath, and I'm using a couple different types of lavender. It's the lavender from the Dollar Tree and then some lavender from Walmart and the lamb's ear from Walmart. And this is a smaller willow wreath that I did get at the Dollar Tree. I wanted this for like a bathroom door. I thought just a little hint of spring as you enter the bathroom just might be cute. So when you're making a wreath, symmetry is important, but you don't want each side identical. So I will start out with the larger lavender on each side. Almost reminds me of a little bit of lilacs there, but... And then the Walmart lavender has much smaller little branches there. Now, one thing I love about the lamb's ear from Walmart is that you can just pull the leaves off. There are a couple that come in a pair or a group of 3, but a lot of them are just one leaf. So I take off the ones that are joined together first. And again, I'm kind of going back and forth, but I don't want each side identical. So you just tuck this in the willow wreath just a little bit, shoving it down there, and then just fully attach it with a little bit of glue. And you just continue to tuck some of the leaves in where it looks like it might need it. And just a little bit of back and forth on each side of the wreath. So tell me down below if you tend to make a lot of wreaths or if you've never made a wreath before in your life, because they are super simple. Sometimes I think they're a little bit intimidating, but really they aren't. It's just so easy to tuck in there. Now, I did get those white flowers this fall at the Dollar Tree. I was just there the other day, and they do have this type of flowers again, but they have a more green stem, which might fit in perfect for your spring wreaths. You really just want to keep your eyes out between Walmart and the Dollar Tree. You can definitely get some good buys there. Often Walmart has even less than $1. So keeping your eyes out and just double checking what the quality is. I think this little pop of white accents this wreath nicely. It just, gives it a little bit of texture with these little almost popcorny flowers. I'm sorry, I don't remember what kind of flower it said it was. And just continuing to tuck in that lavender. Then as you can see, I'm going to end up making a bow with that buffalo check ribbon. That I did get from Hobby Lobby, and my goodness, it has lasted me so long. I want to say they're like 30 feet. it's marked as $9.99, but I get it when it's half off. So $5 for 30 feet is a pretty good deal. I believe the ones at Dollar Tree are about 9 feet usually. All right, and so I just made 2 loops. One's just a little bit smaller than the other. And at first I just fold them up, but I do decide to come back in and just put a dot of glue to make that ring stay together. But by folding that, I definitely get the center. And I'm thinking here I'm just going to tie it around the center, but I do decide those dots of glue on each are handy. The nice thing about this ribbon is also it does have a bit of wire on the edges, so it does hold its shape. There's a dot of glue. Then again, we just stack them on top of each other. And then I'll just take the long tail piece and I basically just tie a single knot there. And just make it good and tight. And that will turn around and be the tails of my bow. So pretty simple. And then all you have to do is fluff up your bow just a bit. Just sticking your fingers in there, fluffing it up. I am not a professional bow maker by any means. This is just one of the quick bows that I do know how to make. And so we just put some glue in the center and hold it there while it dries for a moment. Now, if you do projects with a lot of glue, again, this is a sticky challenge, you might need to get rid of those little cobwebby strings. I just go back in, which I did not show, but I go back in and just hit it with the hairdryer for a second, and all those little strings just shrivel up and go away and are gone. So that's about it for this wreath. What do you think? And DIY number 2. Now, they have a couple different sizes on these. They're the sphere flower thing. But I bought it to make a couple different wreaths. It comes with 4 hoops there, and I just pull them apart. This is a smaller one. Now, I did see at Dollar Tree they have 2 to 3 sizes of this now. Now, for this sphere, the longest one has these long metal things that are to hold the sphere together so that when you pull it around, they just fan out. So I'm cutting off just one of those down to about nothing and just making sure it isn't too sharp. So I'm just taking my tin snips. You could use wire cutters. I just know these are heavy duty, so thought those might be best. Now the other long piece at the bottom, I'm actually going to use that to my advantage, and that will be the center point that I attach the flowers. So again, I wanted to show you how else you could use the flowers with just a wire wreath. So I took this lavender and I'm just going to connect it together in the center. Pretty simple. Going to grab this lamb's ear and again just pull it all off. Now you could just snip those stems off also and tuck it underneath. That would probably work also. But I wanted to give it a little bit of a personal touch and just attach the leaves that I think will work best and layer that underneath the lavender. So I glued it to the metal there. And again, you're going to want to be careful. Metal will get hot, of course, with heat. You can use your little silicone fingers or the silicone little mask applicator. And I'll just continue to layer these. So this will be underneath the lavender and just give it that extra soft touch. Oh, there is my silicone little mask adapter that I did get at the Dollar Tree in the cosmetics section. But it works wonderful because, as you know, silicone is heat resistant, so it helps. As you can see, my glue gun's on a silicone pot holder. And the glue just pops right off there if it happens to drip. So I'm just pressing this down, making sure everything sticks in the center there. And you can just weave those flowers in and out of the lamb's ear. And I just continue on tucking it underneath. This wreath just feels just a little bit softer. I didn't use the white flowers on this one. It is simply the lamb's ear and the lavender that I did get at Walmart. I just put a little bit of glue on the back as well. Now, if you wanted to, you could put some ribbon across the back to give it just a little bit more support. It should pretty much be hidden then by the flowers and things. Now, the bow I make for this one is even simpler. It's going to just be a hoop again. And I just took a little piece of jute and I tied this around, so I found the center and tied this around the center just to make sure it was tied nice and tight. I wanted to show you a couple different bows. So then I took a little piece of the ribbon, folded it in half to the center, and I'm just going to wrap this around to make the center of the bow. And now to make the tails, I will just take a piece, pinch it and bend it over. And attach it to the back of the bow. And just hold it there while it cools and dries the glue. Now the last bow, I just cut the ends of it at an angle. And on this one, I decided to go in and make a dovetail end. So I'll show you that in just a second when this attaches. There we are. You just simply fold the ends together and cut towards the center. It's just as easy as that. And there we are. Now I'm going to take another little piece of the ribbon and I want to cover that little tiny piece of metal at the top and just give it something to hang from. So you could definitely leave it and then just use a wreath hanger or a nail or a hook. I just thought that this would work well in case I do decide to hang this one, from the bathroom door. I could definitely just hook it there with a nail. So I folded each of the ends into the center. So it gave it a finished edge, and then I just twisted it around and just give it a little bit of glue to make sure it stays in place. And that's going to be it for this one as well. I really do hope that you have enjoyed these and that you will like and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to watch the playlist. there will be a lot of other crafters with their DIYs to share with you. Thank you.